Hello, welcome back to Talk Seagulls. And it feels so weird to be back. It's been absolutely months, but we're back at the Caxton Arms for the new season. And I'm back with Brett Mendoza. Brett, the owner of the pub, the legend that is. It's good to see you again. It's been a long time.
It's great to see you. What an intro that was. Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it?
New season. It's time to be nice to each other, right?
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
How are you feeling ahead of all of this? There's a fair bit's happened, isn't it, since the end of last season?
Yeah, so it's like, it doesn't seem that long ago. It seems like nothing's happened, but it seems like loads is happening and has happened. For now, I think I'm really excited about the new season.
Yeah. It's always a weird bit for me, the new season thing, because when the season's sort of dying off, I mean, it didn't really die off for us because we were in it to the end, but like you sort of think, oh, the season's nearly over. It's going to be good for the new season to come around, another summer. Within 2 or 3 weeks of the summer starting, you're just bored. Like, I can't explain it. There's not much else to really think about. I mean, apart from we've got some great gigs and stuff, and I love it. It's great fun. You've got other things to do, of course, but it's just not the same as being in a Brighton away end, to be honest. Yeah,
I agree. Like, you think, oh, there's loads to do when football's not on, and then you realise how much you miss football when football's nearly everything. Like I said, from them not winning the cup final, we needed like 8 results to go our way, and then I think the first 6 happened. You're like, oh, this is well good, and then it just ended abruptly, and we're not in Europe. And then there was the whole thing: are they in or out of Europe because of technicalities? And then after that,
judgment's not in yet.
No.
The final word's not in. So this could even be outdated by the time this actually goes out. But as far as I'm concerned, Crystal Palace aren't going to get into Europe, are they? Surely.
I think they will. They kind of.
Sorry, they will get into Europe. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah. I think they kind of deserve it. They won the cup.
Yeah,
and it's a technicality on something that. When the deadline was, I think it was the 4th round of the cup, they were probably 15th in the table, and you don't think I need to sell my shares to get into Europe. Like, I don't know, but that's like the excitement since the end of the season, and after that's finished, I don't know what there is to look forward to.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. You got the new kits, I suppose, at some point soon.
I think 3 new kits, I heard.
Yeah, you got 3 new kits this season. There's a new third shirt. Yeah. I mean, there is other ways. No, I'm joking. Don't do that.
There isn't.
But no, the third shirt's going to be here, so that's going to be different. It does feel a bit new. We got all this work going on at the Amex. Obviously, the North Stand's getting a bit of a glow up. I've heard.
Is it safe standing next season? No.
Yeah, is that happening? I think the weigh-in's not moved yet. I think that's the season after. And there's obviously this big new mega store which is coming, I think the 2nd of July.
I think I got the email yesterday from the club saying, "Oh, come and use the escalator." Blah blah blah.
So the Amex is going to be different again, which is quite cool. So there's that, and there's an event at the Terrace. So there is stuff to start easing you back into it. Roping you back into football, and it has been a bit of a quieter sort of end of season, but at the same time we've made quite a few moves already. It feels like we've been quite proactive in the incomings. So we signed Diego Coppola already, but Scagli is another one that's on pre-contract terms. So I think he'll be here in the 30th of June, which at the moment is 4 days away. So again, that's another one to come in. Obviously there's links as well to players like Harvey Elliott. It's been really, really talked about for probably since last January, I think. So how are you feeling with the new shape of squad? It feels like maybe a change in formation, do you think?
Yeah, I think so. Like, Hertzler was famed for playing 3 at the back at St Pauli, and it now looks like we're signing 2 central defenders. Like, we've got Webster, Dunk, Van Heck. I can't remember who else in Hinchelwood plays there. So it looks like we're going to go 3 at the back. We kept Lamptey, so maybe he's looking at wing backs again. So it's looking like a change of formation, which would be good.
I pick you up on one word, one name you said there was Van Hecker. I mean, there's links obviously to Newcastle. It's unconfirmed as to how reliable that is at the moment, but it seems like a lot of our players are being linked with moves away. Obviously, you've got Joao Pedro, you've got Karen Mitoma, Van Hecker, and Ciso.
Probably.
Yeah, so there's a lot of outgoings. I even saw someone was talking about Ferdy Kadzioglu going on loan, which I thought was insane. Yeah, believe it or not, he actually is a player at Brighton. And yeah, I mean, I put a tweet on about it, and everyone sort of acted like I was almost having a meltdown over it, but I wasn't. I was sort of just reposting the news, if you know what I mean. And I was sort of just saying all these players are linked away. Hopefully, we don't lose too many. So To which others are, don't overreact, don't overreact.
Yeah.
We're not overreacting, we're stating what's happening. But how do you feel about potentially having a good 4 or 5 players leave at this stage? Do you think it could be a problem for us?
Maybe, like with João Pedro, obviously something's happened and it looks like he's going to go. Like I go past his house every day. He has moved out. So,
Has he?
but in the big moments, João Pedro was our man. Like, last minute winners, pressure penalties, the leader. He was up.
Yeah.
He wasn't an amazing like goal
consistency
scorer,
as well.
but he on his day he's as good as we've ever had. And missing that's 10 goals and 10 assists in this season in the league. That's a big chunk to lose. And then we've got this Greek kid coming in, so I don't know. It's a lot of pressure on an 18-year-old.
Yeah, especially for 30 odd million that we signed him for. Kostoulas, I believe. Yeah. Very limited sort of footage that I could find of him. I think there was an account called Maxi something. I'll shout him out if I can find his at. But he was posting clips of every action, pretty much every ball action that he had in his leagues, he found and posted, both good and bad. You had the good and and it was quite interesting. I think I saw a bit of a raw Julio probably, which is obviously a very exciting prospect. Don't get me wrong, but potentially maybe a little bit early for him to just say, "Oh, he's going to come in on the first game of the season and score goals." It might be a one we have to trust the process with him a little bit, you know.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like for someone that's only 18, has only played in Greek league to come into the Premier League, like I kind of looked at some of the footage and in my head I think Evan Ferguson again, like another massive 18-year-old goal scoring wonder kid, and then they look at Ferguson now, where we think he should be. We were touting him as another £100 million player not so long ago, and now. Is he going to go out on loan to the Championship? Well, it's just weird how football works. But like we've obviously scouted this Greek kid a lot. We've put a lot of money into it. So it sounds like he's going to go into the first team and not go on loan to USG or something. So,
I think he'll be sticking around. But I mean, obviously we signed Stefanos Simas as well, didn't we? That was earlier in January. But again, it's another player to bring in. It's a Greek kid as well. So the squad's starting to take shape, it feels. I'm a little bit apprehensive if we were to lose too many. I would be scared of having another transition season, as people like to say. But hopefully, if we keep the sort of core, I think the main ones to keep on my point of view would be Van Hecker and Mitoma. Sort of resigned to the fact that João's going to go. Yeah,
I agree with that. Like, it'll be the player of the season curse again if Van Hecker goes, or the curse where the players with the best chance go when João Pedro goes. Just. Like we see all our players go, like Burn, McAllister, Caicedo, they've all gone on to win things, whereas we've looked okay and just got a load of profit. So if we keep them, then we can win a trophy if we like add to the squad that we've got, because they've had another year again to bed in. Like Gruder's suddenly looking good. Like Weaver's got a lot better. Even O'Reilly was getting better, but there's another one that might go. So
O'Reilly's linked away. I think Everton were talking about him. There's a few other clubs as well. I think Napoli wanted him as well, didn't they? So
they want everyone, Napoli.
Napoli on a mad one. Billy Gilmore and Scott McTominay have been the influence by the looks of it. But there is a big shift, it feels like. Again, it feels like a lot of players are being touted with moves away. And as I said, I want to just keep that core. On Mitoma quickly, Bayern Munich have... I think they've cooled their interest, I believe, so they're not so hot on that man right behind you. I think in terms of players, I've gone on about him so many times, but he is still one of the best players I've ever seen at Brighton. And I think if we're to be serious again next season and say, look, this year we're going to put everything into going for Europe again, I think we have to just keep hold of him again. Yeah,
I agree. Like I said towards the end of the season, I think he's our only world-class player at present. I think Belieber's going to get there and some, but I don't want to call us a one-man team because we're not, but when Mitoma plays, it's a different game. When he's come on late, he's just changed games, got winners, got assists, and that's what we need. Like otherwise, we're just playing pretty patterns of football, but no killer edge, and he's the one that's got it.
I agree. And it's quite good for us that Bayern have called that interest because I think that was a big enough club to tempt him away, Champions League sort of thing. And just looking across the rest of the top clubs, they're pretty okay for left wingers.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be surprised if Liverpool are going to put more money into another player that's 28 years old. Looks like they're after Isak anyway, which is he can play off the left side. They've got Diaz, depending if he stays. And of course, then you've got City already on their sort of push, really. They've made a lot of signings. So I don't think that of the big clubs, maybe Arsenal potentially, but I've not seen their name thrown into that hat yet. It would be quite comical if he were to go to Arsenal and replace Trossard again, though. But I can't see that making that move. So I do live in the hope that is Mitoma for now. Okay.
Yeah, I can't imagine us without him. To be fair.
Yeah. No, I agree. So Van Hecker and Mitoma to stay and everyone else to come in. So I seen a lot of conversation over Harvey Elliott, and I wanted to bring it up to you because a lot of people spoke about the fact that we've almost got so many attackers, right? Which is true. Obviously, as we say, Enciso could go, particularly in that sort of winger / sort of through the middle player. We've got a lot of them, but he's just scored 2 goals in the England under-21s for the Euros. They're now through to the final, courtesy of Jack Hinchell and Jack Beadle as well. Potentially 3 Brighton players shining for England. And do you think he's worth the money?
£40 million for a young up-and-coming English player doesn't seem that much. Like, I think where we might take advantage of is Liverpool have spent big.
Yeah.
So Harvey Elliott's an academy graduate, so it's pure profit if they sell him. So if we get him for 40 million, I think it's decent money. He's been a game changer for them. Like, you can see he puts his heart and soul into it, but does he do it for not his boyhood club? I don't know. I think he will. He looks really good.
I think he would. I've got to be
yesterday,
honest.
The England game, he changed the game at the end, and that winner that was like bundling through the midfield and a calm finish, which sometimes we're quite bad at calm finishing in front of goal. So I think he's good. He's worth keep having, but where does he fit in? You've got Rutter that plays there. O'Reilly wants to play there. You got
and Ciso,
Pedro and Ciso, Buonanotte. They all play there. So I think maybe apart from Rutter, he's ahead of everyone. But he's young, he's English, and he looks like a really, really good player. So if we get him, he's only going to improve our squad.
And you're also obviously sacrificing Brian Gruder, who's just scored for Germany. He's under 21s.
Yeah, he's had an amazing end to the season.
He has. Yeah, he's really come on leaps and bounds. And he's a player that can play across that front three, can play in midfield. Again, it's difficult. It's really difficult. But when you're talking about O'Reilly and then Ciso going, I suppose you're then the numbers aren't so bad, but then you're probably looking at Facundo as the obvious one who might think, no, I want to go play first team football every week, and I wouldn't blame him for saying that. We saw how good he could be for Leicester, despite the fallout so rude at times. It would be a shame to sacrifice Facundo's potential ceiling for someone else's, but. I mean, if the club think it's the right thing to do, potentially I'd agree with it. I do think Elliott's a good player. I think he's technically very, very, very good. Yeah. And I was speaking to a lad who runs Anfield Sector on Twitter, and he said that if Elliott were to leave Liverpool for a smaller club, not that Chelsea are a small club, but he would be like the Cole Palmer of that, like, boy into man at somewhere else. So that excited me a little bit,
No, I agree. Like, I think the potential is amazing. Like, the Liverpool fans think highly of him. I don't think they really want him to go, but where does he fit in with all their new signings? I don't know if he does. So
and Virtus was crazy money.
Yeah, and like with the PSR rules, then for Liverpool it's £40 million profit, and they spent £100 million on a striker already, haven't they? So it's worth a punt, definitely. I think.
Yeah, no, you're right. I think it would be an interesting signing. I mean, Jorginho, I can't see him starting above him probably in terms of how the squad's shaped at the moment, but maybe off the right at times. Minte is not going to play every single week. He's a player that will run himself into the ground at times through just pure energy that he's got. So potentially you could see that. Solly's not getting any younger, is he? So, you could see that pathway on the right side. Adingra is probably one that we could see the end of probably this season. I think there was talk of him, wasn't there, going away. So there's a lot of change. Tommy Watson's obviously here.
got Osman coming back as well.
Yeah, but Ibrahim Osman, he didn't do so well at Feyenoord, I believe. He had big ceiling, didn't he, when he went there? But yeah, the interesting one for me is sort of how we set up and how we sort of get all of these players into the same team. Because last season the conversation was always, we've got such a good squad, but we probably weren't getting the best out of them. Whereas it looks like now we're going with this individual brilliance in some players like Elliott, and we're also going with a bit more physicality, in players like Coppola. So maybe we're seeing that shift and back in of Hertzler's style.
Yeah, so like Hertzler said in an interview not so long ago that we lacked in physicality, which is so glaringly obvious. Yeah. So I'm glad that he said it publicly, and we signed that Coppola who looks an absolute beast at the back, an actual defending defender rather than someone that can pass the ball, which we've got lots of. So if we've been pretty ropey at the back, conceding 2 goals nearly every game. So maybe with the new signings, a defender that can defend and 3 at the back, we might keep a few more clean sheets and still be exciting going forward with all our attacking wealth.
Yeah, no, agree. I think Coppola looks a bit like a Dunk regen. He's very much a brick wall defender. He'll put himself into anything, but he is also capable of playing with the ball at his feet. I think his stats on the ball looked worse because he was playing in a side that just didn't really play passing out from the back. But to be fair, we don't really emphasise that as much now anyway. So he might get away with that a little bit. Buscagli's the alternative. He's probably a little bit weaker. He's quite small, but he's really good with his feet. So you're maybe getting a weird dynamic there of perhaps, if you remember the wide centre backs with Ben White and Dan Burn, we'd pushed them so high. Perhaps he's looking at something like that with Van Hecker and Buscagli, where you almost use them as midfielders, perhaps. But we'll see. The other name was Pervis Estupiñán. It looks like he's probably going as well. There was talk that he asked to leave, wasn't there?
Sure. Was it Man United were after him?
Man United wants him.
Again, on his day, he's one of our best players, but then if he doesn't want to be here, then why keep him? But since he got injured, he hasn't been quite the same player. Like he looked knackered, where before he was the one you could count on to run for 100 minutes and not look tired at all. But now he does look a bit injury prone. He is a bit older, but he's still one of our better players. So I'd want to keep him, but I mean another signing we'd need. So it'd be like a whole new defence.
This is the thing.
I don't know if we need to keep some stability.
That's sort of what I'm thinking. Where everyone said transition season last season, and then we're almost losing more for more this season, and then we're going to say transition season again next season. It's going to drive me mad. But Pervis, I can probably see going. He's a very, very good player on his day. He does have a bit of a weird gene to do crazy things at times, but I think there was talk of him in 2023 being one of the best left backs in the league, wasn't there? And I think it wasn't far off. I think it's Quibano, I think is how you say his name. Is the Brazilian kid that Forest wanted and we wanted. I think Forest have almost called their interest in him, so perhaps we could see him coming here. So there's definitely talk of us getting left backs, which makes me think Pervis will go. So again, as you say, it's a whole shift in everything. Really, everything's going to be very different. We've got rid of our goalkeeping coach as well. So
2 of them, I think, isn't it?
Sorry, Jack Stern's gone as well as Marco Noop. Is it? Shame to see Jack Stern go. Actually, he's a really good guy.
He's a local kid, Brighton fan as well. So.
Yeah, he's been really supportive of the podcast as well. So it's a shame to see him go. It was a shame to see him go. But I guess, again, when the goalkeepers, what was it, the worst ranked goalkeeper in the league last season was Bart Verbruggen. So I suppose statistically, if you're looking through the data, it makes sense. Igor's going to go. I just wanted to throw that one in there. Aaron Cashin's being sent out on loan, which is probably not quite as surprising. So that's pretty much the recap, I think, of everything that's changing. So with all that in mind and all this change in mind, how do you feel about the idea of a potential transition season again?
I think it's going to have to be. But at the end of last season, I was really, really, really excited for this season because some of the players that started the transition at the start of last season all got really good. So like Gruder's the one that excites me the most. I think he could be our next big one along with Believer, where everyone's going to look at him and think, oh, he's the next, Brighton have done it again kind of thing. We got him for like 20 million quid and I think was it maybe that, I don't know.
Yeah, 25 million.
It wasn't loads
from
and loads.
Mainz.
But then you see like some of the German kids going now, like Wirtz 100 million, and so I think we went in the right market, found someone, and we've developed him really well. And the same goes for a few of the others that have like maybe more fringe players, but they've all got a lot better. I think we need to try and start with Weaver and Believer in the middle, so we've got that physicality in midfield. But then Jack Hinchelwood's been unbelievable there as well, and up front. So I don't know. Well, I don't actually know where Hinchelwood fits in, but I know he has to play.
I know what you mean. He's a bit like the new Pascal Gross. He can go anywhere, and you almost forget him for every starting 11 you put in. I don't know if you've seen much of the England under 21s, but he's played left back, right back, centre back, and centre mid so far, which is very Jack Hinchelwood style. But he's played well everywhere. I think the only place he probably didn't look quite so good was centre back.
He's quite small, isn't he?
But other than that, he's done a very good job. I still wouldn't call him a fullback. I think he's still better in midfield. But when we've got so many midfielders, you understand the struggle to get him in the squad. But not only Hinchelwood, but James Beardle's done a very good job back there. He was caught out yesterday for the goal, if you saw that. He was a little bit too high. The striker didn't have to look up. I think he was about 40 yards out and just curled it around him. But other than that, he had a really good game, made a lot of good claims, crosses, and just really kept it quite assured for the back there. And again, that's what you want to see from a goalkeeper that's not even played a senior match for us yet.
It's good. Like, goalkeeping's weird again. Like, we've got Verbruggen, who is our number one. As we said, statistically worst keeper in the league. Bit harsh on him. He has his moments, so he does make mistakes, but if we're playing out from the back, everyone does. But and then you got Rushworth that's itching to play but doesn't think he is, so he wants to leave. So then that leaves Beadle and about 400 other youth goalies that we've got and keep signing. So I don't know. I guess Beadle's the next one in line. I don't know.
Beadle's
after Steele. We've still got Steele as well.
Steele's in there. Yeah, I think Beadle will be the next one. I think. Just through gut feeling of everything that Sheffield Wednesday fans have told me about him, they all say this kid is going to be really good for you. And bear in mind, he's only 18 years old, 19 years old, so he's very, very young for a goalkeeper. I think he is still susceptible. I think he got dropped towards the last end of the last season, but again, a potentially very, very good player. Rushworth it's just a shame for him, to be honest. He's come to a club that's got literally an overloading goalkeepers, and they're all around the same age group. So trying to become number one is difficult. So I think he will be another one to go. There was another player that was talking about going. Yassine Ayari was also speaking about not going. He was being pressured a lot by the interviewer. If you actually break it down, it's a little bit of a non-story. But the fact that he didn't just say no was a bit of a difficult one for probably the media. They always wanted to hype up that. I mean, probably of all positions to let go of, probably centre mid is one we can afford to do. But I think Ayari had a fantastic season last season, especially just for a 21-year-old midfielder. Yeah,
it was a slow burner, wasn't he? At the start, he was getting pushed off the ball a lot, but then he makes things happen. Like the little through balls, like playing through just playing through phases and sections, and he's done really well. But when we need to grind out results and be physical, he wasn't our man, and the opposition kind of spotted that and just bullied him. But he's got a lot better since, and then he started scoring goals towards the end of the season as well. Yeah,
he's got some wonder goals as well, not just normal goals. He's another one with a top potential. I think he fits in my category of very good potential. We've got elite potential. So I think Ayari's probably just one under that, but still. I saw someone say, what more can you actually expect from a 21-year-old midfielder over a Premier League season that has only really played on loan and didn't do particularly great out on loan? I thought it's a very, very fair point. I don't think he could have done much more last season. I think he was very good. He fit him pretty well. I think, as you say, you're right with the physicality thing. But again, he could be a nice blend potentially next season. We've got a lot of these sort of, how do you explain it? Technically gifted players. That, as you say, muscle-wise, it's a bit of a mismatch with player and style, probably. So that's going to be the interesting shift. And weirdly, I feel like Matt O'Reilly fits more into being more physical, potentially. But it just doesn't work. He doesn't he doesn't do that. He is more with his feet, but he looks like he should be more physical to me.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I think, like, especially at home, I just think we've got a lot of nice players like that. Just everything seems nice. Like the players, the manager, the atmosphere is just all nice. So like teams come in and like our home record's not the greatest, cause especially against the bottom teams. So I think with this physicality and a bit more like now, so we need more people like Veltman with just the shithousery and stuff, just to like
smash it.
Yeah, just to make ourselves more of a menace as well as playing nice football. And then I think we're in for top 6.
Top 6. Yeah. Funny enough, I was going to ask you your actual thoughts for the season. You're saying top 6.
I reckon so. Yeah, I'm going for it. Going bold.
I like it. I like it. I mean, there's no reason not to go bold. We've got a great team, a young team as well. As you say, only going to get better as the season goes. I think players like Coppola could end up being a real eye for a €10 million signing.
Same amount as Cashin, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah. So. In fact, Cashin was more because it was pounds. He was £10 million. At least he's in €10 million. That's what, £8 million. So yeah, it's a bit better. I think I would predict high if we don't lose too many players. Yeah. And by too many, I mean keep hold of the core. Yeah. And I'll call core, as I say, Van Hecker and Mitoma. Yeah. That'll be my 2 to reinforce. Yeah. Keep them, and I think we have a very, very good potential to be a top 6 club next season. If we lose them, and we also lose Purvis, we also lose Ayari, we also lose Riley, we also lose everybody else that we've got, then it could be a little bit more difficult because we are going to have to go through a transition season, right? If that's what you want to call it. Yeah. So that's it. It may be a little bit too early to give that prediction from me. I think I'll do another one of these with you in a month's time. Yeah. And if we've still got the same scenario where he's still here and Newcastle leave Van Hecker alone, they can have João Pedro. Maybe they'll get in a bust up on the way there.
Yeah, they can't have them both if they're going to left here fighting. So.
Both JPs. Yeah, and they both hate each other after that last thing. Hopefully Newcastle leave us alone because they're becoming like the new Chelsea, to be honest. They're going after everybody. We'll see what happens. But overall, I'm feeling pretty positive. I think I'm quite happy with some of the links. I think they're starting to get better. I still want to see a little bit more probably at left back. I think that left side of defence is still a little bit weak for me. Yeah. And that's on the assumption that Buscaglia is not quite as physically demanding as others think. If Igor goes, Cashin goes, I think that we're still weak there, especially with Purvis gone. Like, I think we do need that left side is effectively, that is going to need some help. Dunk's not probably going to be the starting centre-back this season. You know, you want to then keep hold of Van Hecker. Webster had a good end to the season last season, but you can't rely on his injury record. So I think that left side of defence is going to be interesting.
Yeah, I agree with that completely. Especially like Matoma's not the best one for tracking back and tackling, but he
used to be a left back, didn't he? Do you remember when Potter signed him?
Potter started him. Yeah. But so it has been a little bit weak down that side, so we definitely need some strengthening there. Yeah,
at least like this is what I think. I saw someone say you rated him way higher than me, but I thought Colwell was class, and I think we haven't replaced him since he's gone. That's probably my unpopular opinion, maybe.
No, I think I loved Colwell. I thought he was brilliant. And he was still young, and I really thought we were going to keep him, but obviously money talks at Chelsea, and
you don't say no to £100,000 a week. No, you just don't. So he stayed, and fair enough. But I think to find another centre back like him, it's a bit more well-rounded. Play with your feet. He's not one to dive in too much either, so he's a bit more modern centre back. Potentially Buscaglia is going to be good for that, but again, that physicality is going to be the watching eye from me. But I hope he does do it because he was ranked really highly in the Eredivisie. But of course, as we all know, the Eredivisie doesn't always translate to Brighton success. But thank you for Minte. But I think is that everything, Brett?
I think
have we covered everything?
I think so. It's a lot to talk about in the quiet time, so I think I think we have.
If there's a Brighton away kit that's you're going to want to see, what's the colourways?
I think something bright and Larry, because we haven't done that really yet. Yeah. So he'd like to throw back to the Chewett Rafa kit from '91 at the Wembley, maybe. Yeah. The red and white. But I don't know. Yeah, I want something a bit because we're quite boring with our kits, aren't we? So,
yeah, we've had a lot of yellow kits.
Yeah, so yeah, no, not yellow, but
black, the red and black one. Do you remember the with theme one?
Yeah.
I think if we could redo that, I know we redid it in the championship.
Yeah,
but that actually looked nice. If we can do that again, that would be cool.
Yeah.
I think, or just go bold, just go like purple or something like that.
Yeah,
just go mad.
Yeah, I think one silly kit. If we're going to have 3 new kits,
let's just go crazy.
Outrageous one.
Because we haven't had like. It sounds stupid, but I like it when we have a cool kit. I think home kit wise, I didn't mind last season's, but it was a bit too white.
Yeah,
I feel like the season before was almost too blue, and what annoyed me was the stripes weren't centralised.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
And it was really irritating. I think the best home kit we've had, you can tell me if I'm wrong, was that season under Potter. And
COVID season.
No, the one after, 21-22, when Cucurella got player of the season.
Yes, that's my favourite
I love that
one.
kit. That was nice. That's my favourite one, I think, in the Prem era.
Yeah, I think that's mine as well. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's there. We're in agreement. So one like that again. Cool. That's everything done.
Yeah.
If we get another pinstripe, I'm going to be angry. I hate the pinstripes. Sorry. Anything with collars. Don't have any collars. Anyway.
I feel angry about that one.
Pleasure to have you on, Brett, as always.
Been a pleasure. Yes.
Make sure you come to Caxton Arms. I'll be here a lot more this season again. And we're back. Talk Seagulls is back. Brighton are back. Summer's nearly over-ish. We'll see you very, very soon. And goodbye. Thank you.